We got updates on the future of Ubisoft, PlayStation, no more delays for GTA 6. We got one delay though, like a ton of gaming news to go over. Thanks as always for joining these weekly news roundups. So sit back and let's go. Some good and bad news for PlayStation. For one, their full operating income jumped by 43% to $2.8 billion thanks to an increase in software and add-on sales, mostly thanks to third-party titles on the PlayStation Store. They themselves namely sold less first-party games. Previous year it was 39.7 million and now 28.9 million. But worth noting is of course that they did not have a title like Spider-Man 2 in the last 12 months compared to the year prior. That should of course change this coming year. They sold 18.5 million PS5s in 12 months, and that's wild if you realize that they have not done a price drop yet and have even increased the price of the console in many territories. It's still neck and neck with the PS4, but the PS4 was sold for way less than the PS5, so Sony overall is making way more money. And yeah, I talked about a price increase. This might also happen in the US following the tariffs. So if you already know that you will get a PS5 but don't have one yet for example GTA 6, you might want to get one now because it could get more expensive in the coming months. We also learned that Sony will shift focus, as Genki notes on Twitter. Before, sell-in units was the focus, but now management is focused on engagement and MAU, leading to profitability. And MAU is monthly active users, so basically with the industry being way more than games sold on a platform now, thanks to free-to-play and people spending way longer in one game, live service titles of course. So that's now also what Sony wants to focus on, which might have an impact on the games they put out themselves. So maybe some first-party titles like Intergalactic will be 50 hours instead of 25 hours like The Last of Us Part 2, so people can spend more time in their games. They also refer to the PlayStation Portal, for example, as an engagement machine to make sure that there are more ways to access the PlayStation ecosystem, so it's easier to spend time there, and the more time you spend playing games on any PlayStation device, the more money you will in the end spend. That's the idea. And that of course brings us to their own live service initiative. Like, they of course also want to make games that people can spend an unlimited amount of time in, and also where they can get way more money out of one player. But yeah, this week that plan got another blow, as Bloomberg reports that Jade Raymond, who founded Haven Studios, has left. Although a reason was not given for Raymond's departure, the report cites sources who note that an internal test for Fair Games took place several weeks ago, and that some developers were concerned about how it was received. Like, you would think that if the feedback was really positive for this extraction shooter, then she would have stayed, right? Oh, and they by the way dropped the $, so it's just Fair Games now. So that might also hint at a change in approach. It was, by the way, supposed to launch at the end of this year, but now it's delayed to spring 2026. You know that window with the biggest entertainment launch ever. Yeah, Fair Games is gonna have a really big uphill battle to get people interested. I went, by the way, more in depth on this live service situation and what now is left of Sony's initiative. For if you are curious, a link to that video in the video description. Like in these Sunday videos, I want to cover as much news as possible and focus on the highlights. So let's move on to Ubisoft. They had their investor call, and for one, they noted that they delayed a significant number of their IPs. Basically, after Star Wars Outlaws flopped, they took a look at all their games in the pipeline and decided to give titles extra time to further polish them. One of those games was, of course, Assassin's Creed Shadows, that got pushed by 4 months, and it totally benefited the title, as it really felt great to play at launch, had way less bugs compared to previous Ubisoft titles. So I think this is only good news for Far Cry 7, that seemingly got delayed by a year from the end of 2025 to the end of 2026. The next Ghost Recon, that should be more like Ready or Not this time, so first person, also got delayed, just like the Splinter Cell remake, and some titles in the Assassin's Creed pipeline. Now, I would be shocked if Hexay, the next game from the Valhalla team, that should be a brand new type of Assassin's Creed experience, is delayed out of holiday 2026. I think you want to keep those big mainline games in the Christmas season, But maybe the Black Flag remake is not at the end of 2025 anymore, but early 2026. Like, you want to get that right, of course, and they also have some smaller titles that might have been pushed as well. So basically, Ubisoft's upcoming 12 months will be kind of light. So next to that rumored Black Flag remaster, they got the Sense of Time remake as well, that we now learned will come out in January, February or March 2026. Maybe we see it at Summer Game Fest or Gamescom already, which would be cool. And it also seems that Ubisoft will kinda continue business as usual until at least the upcoming slate for the next 5 years is out. And this also includes a new Division game that is seemingly planned for 2027 to early 2028. And 2 other big Assassin's Creed RPGs will also be coming in the next 6 years. What they do plan to do is reduce the cost by another 100 million in the next 2 years, which is quite a lot. So that could mean that like other support studios get shut down and then the developers sadly laid off. But nothing as drastic as like a full restructuring seems to be happening, at least for now. Although if the games that they now got planned flop again, yeah, then we got a completely different situation on our hands. Also here did a deeper dive on the React channel for if you are curious. Link to that in the video description. Of course, let's go over some more gaming news. So leave a like, that would really help me out, and subscribe because we post one of these big gaming news roundup videos every Sunday. Let's do some quick shots, news stories I want to go over quickly. We namely got info on the Stellar Blade PC release that will have all the bells and whistles that you expect from a PC port, including an uncapped frame rate and ultra wide support. But this edition also includes new content that will be coming to PS5 as a free update, with the highlight being a new boss fight in the boss challenge mode against man. And defeating him gives you the Royal Guard suit, yes, from the guards in the game, that looks amazing. There will be 25 new outfits to unlock in total, and we all get the Crimson Wing for free. The game is already the second global top-selling game on Steam at the time of this recording, and all the other stuff I mentioned, like it's fun and all, but of course the mods is what's going to be wild for this game. Marvel 1943 has been delayed to early 2026. This is of course the new game from the Uncharted creator Amy Hennig about a young Captain America first fighting and then working together with Black Panther. Still no gameplay, but of course the cutscenes so far look really good, set during World War II. Curious if we get like gameplay during Summer Game Fest in June, or if because of this delay they will now wait for the Game Awards. My money is on December during the Game Awards, but would love to be wrong. We will likely have to wait longer for Kingdom Hearts 4, although they did release some new images this week. Some things that stand out are, for one, that there are no Donald or Goofy in the HUD for Sora, so maybe they split up this time. As we also see a playable Mickey again, but in a library. The new designs for the shadows also look pretty cool, a bit more human-like. The first trailer was in 2022, that's crazy to think about, but I don't think we have to wait another 3 years before we get another look at Kingdom Hearts 4, with some Square Enix people already hinting at info potentially soon. So maybe at the potential PlayStation State of Play or Showcase that I think will be coming later in the month. I will of course keep you posted. Okay, now time for a rumor roundup where we look at the biggest leaks of the week and I give stars, with 3 being I believe it and 1 being let's take this with a huge grain of salt. GTA 6 won't be delayed again, and now that it has a specific date, says the Take-Two boss, with him also saying that generally, when we set a specific date, that ends up being the date. So May 26th got a bit more likely. They wanted to give that date, by the way, to assure us that, yes, of course, it sucks that it's delayed out of 2025, but the game is real and it's really coming. I still believe it when I see it. There are just too many like good reasons for them to want to delay it if they need to. But still, this is good news. And it seems that Rockstar in the meantime has plans for some remasters and re-releases of their previous titles, with GTA 4 potentially coming. Like the perfect moment for these would be before GTA 6. After that, people will have their hands full, they will be occupied. And we now got a rumor from Game Reactor as well, namely that Red Dead Redemption 2 will be coming to Switch 2 later in the year, with a long overdue PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series patch as well. Take-Two is supporting the Switch 2 with many games, including even Borderlands 4, so it is possible. Of course, we'll keep you posted, and let me know if you would like to see any of these re-releases in the comments down below. Oh, and 2 stars by the way for this. We've heard many rumors about the Rockstar re-releases over the years. Not always true, sometimes they are, But again, I do think it makes sense to put them out before GTA 6. And this coming week, we could get that PlayStation Showcase announcement. Sony usually announces those a week in advance. If it's a state of play though, then we likely hear it a few days in advance. So then it would not be this week, but the week after that. Just my speculation, but I think it's worth throwing it out there that it could happen. I also expect other Summer Game Fest news that I will then of course discuss in the Sunday video and also on the React channel. We'll of course be streaming the weekly Monday stream on that React channel, a link in the video description, hope you can join. And I will do the weekly reset stream for Shadows and of course more content this week. So stay tuned, subscribe, and check out our recent video on FBC Firebreak that is coming to PlayStation Plus Extra and Game Pass very soon. You can watch that by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.